Swerve versus Hangman, Adam Page to open up Dynamite this week, and it really goes to show just how good this opening match was, in that I knew with almost certainty where this was headed. We knew that this was going to end up in a three-way at Revolution with Samoa Joe, or at least I think that was the leading thought amongst people. It seems like Hangman's not ready to be out of the picture just yet. Like, this feud is over. And that's the one thing that hurts this match, is that we've seen this all before. This match is not better than their hardcore match at Full Gear. There aren't very many things that are better than that. That's one of the better matches in AEW history, one of the better death matches in general. Really solid stuff. And a lot of those spots are here as well. These guys know each other, and it really shows in the way they work together now. Phenomenal match. Very highly rated in general. If I look around the internet, this thing is sitting at a 9 out of 10 easily. For me, I'm going to put this thing at a 6. But not everybody felt that way. Okay, so I want to make sure we get other people's opinions in here. So I got one here from CageMatch.com, the internet wrestling database. And they say Hangman and Swerve have elite tier chemistry. And while this didn't fizz like their previous encounters, how the hell are you going to call the death match a fizz? I don't know where you find these people, Cage Match, but good for you. They were in pretty good rhythm with one another. Unfortunately, too much went wrong. I mean, yeah, some of the spots didn't go off quite right, but it didn't detract from my enjoyment of this thing one bit. I think I've watched matches where things don't go right and it really takes you out of the match. They did such a good job covering for any of the minor mishaps that happened during this match that wasn't the problem. The problem was we saw all of this before in more extreme, better ways with the definitive finish. So that was the problem here. But yeah, this guy goes on to say, I knew Swerve would clip his head on the sunset flip. I legitimately don't even remember Swerve performing a sunset flip. He performed a lot of stomps, and if he hit his head, I mean, hopefully he's okay. He says that the table collapsing is always a shame, and Paul Turner really blatantly moved Swerve's foot off Hangman so he didn't have to count too early. The timing of the finish was like perfect. I mean, I think they rang the bell when they rang the bell. I don't know if it hit 30 minutes in duration exactly. I don't know what the deal is. There might have been some smoke and mirrors there, but I like how they didn't call out that there was a time limit too much. Sometimes they'll ruin these kinds of finishes by over calling it on commentary, but that didn't happen here. So I don't know about that criticism. That's really crazy. I'm not the biggest no-sell hater, but they mapped this out poorly. I mean, I think they called a lot of this in the ring. I don't know about mapping this out. Given Hangman was almost alive after a dead eye through a table. I mean, that pretty much ended the match, but whatever. I guess I guess if you look at this through crazy eyes, maybe that's the case. This is going to be the rivalry of this era of AEW, but this edition had too much go wrong. I mean, I agree there. This is definitely the defining pairing of this era of AEW. This had to follow the Hangman Swerve match, so the crowd was pretty dead, and I'm sure no one thought Red Velvet was going to beat the world champion who's in the middle of another feud, but it was a nice match for what it was. Nothing fancy or trying to do anything, but that's okay. Deanna on commentary wasn't very good, and I think they're going to be stretching out this feud pretty thin by the time Revolution comes. Red Velvet looked good for her part, much better than in the Thunder Rosa match she had. Now, that is the lowest review on CageMatch.com, and normally I don't agree with the lowest ranked reviews on CageMatch.com, but this time I kind of do. I'm not going to hate on this match that much. Like, I'm definitely going to give this like a middle ground, 3 out of 5. I'm not going to rate anything that low that has Timeless Toni Storm in it because Timeless Toni Storm is great. But I have to agree, Deonna Purrazzo on commentary added very little to this. I like what Toni's bringing to the feud very much. I like the look she's exchanging with Deonna, like smelling her at the end of the match was really interesting. Everything that Toni does is interesting, but Deonna's whole thing where it's like, this isn't the Toni I know. I really hate that angle, and she's not bringing enough character to this, and I hope that it happens. I'm still enjoying this build more than the build between Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. I think this is still done better. But yeah, this match was really tough coming after Hangman and Swerve, which was such an amazing match. And then you got what is basically a squash match here. The thing I don't agree with in that post is that I do not think Red Velvet looked better here than she did against Thunder Rosa. I thought the match versus Thunder Rosa was of a much higher quality. That was a really phenomenal match. This was fun, but I kind of expected more from a Lucha Trios match, especially with Claudio in it. And guys, do you think we're going to get it all on TV? Like, I'm really thinking that this thing's building towards a pay-per-view, right? Like, Hechicero is looking just unbelievable on TV. So put him in a pay-per-view match, and I can only imagine what other levels he can go to. His match against Bryan Danielson on Collision was amazing. So yeah, I'm really hoping this goes towards a pay-per-view, and I hope they're holding back. I think this could be a phenomenal build. If this doesn't go to the pay-per-view, I don't know why we've been spending so much time on this. We are just building this, and more guys from the roster are coming out. This could take over all of 0 Hour as far as I'm concerned. Like, this could be the entire pre-show. What a way to get people involved as well. You're giving away Jon Moxley on the pre-show. I don't know if that sounds right, but it could be really cool. Anyways, I digress. I would love to see them face any of these guys in singles. We literally got that. Also, I'm not sure having an invasion angle to be predicated around the Invaders losing every match, aside from the Job Squad. Yeah, there was a win on Rampage. Is really the way to go. I mean, I don't know. What do you want him to do? You wanted Bryan Danielson to lose? This would have been a good match for him to win. I'll agree. This match here, we could have had the AAA guys win this one and further the feud more. This might be the end of it. It doesn't seem right though. Okay, I'll give you that. There's clearly more to come, and it'll probably happen in CMLL? I don't know. That's where the real fireworks will be for this feud. Hechicero continues to look good in his run so far. I agree with you there, sir. I'm going to give this match a 4. A dull match as part of an interminable feud. Surely they have something better they can do with Takeshita. That's a little harsh, right? But I definitely feel it. This match was long for what it was. I actually wish we would have just stuck with Sammy and Powerhouse Hobbs. That was the most exciting part of the match. I was enjoying that so much more, and I was so sad when we went back to what was happening in the ring. And I just didn't understand a lot of what we were watching. Like, we saw Powerhouse Hobbs absolutely demolish Jericho. And now Takeshita can't get it done without help from his friends. Like, I just don't understand. And I definitely don't understand why this thing has gone on so long. I don't know what we're headed to. In all fairness, the wind came out of the sails when Kenny Omega got hurt. Like, let's be fair about that. Like, this was going to be something else, and now it's what we got. I don't know where it's going. I don't care. The problem is I often feel that way about stuff that Jericho does, but let's be nice to the match. There was a lot of good work in this match, a lot of interesting spots. I like the spot with Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm being generous because there was some really cool stuff in here, but I didn't like anything. I didn't like any of the emotion behind this. I didn't like Takeshita having to work so hard to beat Jericho when it's like we've just lowered him in power in compared to Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs already destroyed Jericho. Why are we doing more singles matches with Jericho? I don't know. You know what? People love Jericho. I like Jericho. Jericho's okay. Maybe the next match. What's the next match? How much more can we do? Once again, we've already peaked with this thing. Their street fight, phenomenal. The street fight on Collision, or on Battle of the Belts, after Collision, when no one was watching, was way better than any of this. And really, that was what should have happened like right before the pay-per-view. I don't know what the match is at pay-per-view. It should definitely involve Sammy. But I don't know what this is now. It's like we peaked way too early, and now we're going to meander about. We got a lot of people meandering about until the pay-per-view. Talk about booking yourself into a fucking corner. This is phenomenal. Darby and Sting versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks is a epic moment in AEW history for so many reasons, some of them good and some of them bad. And honestly, this is pretty much what I love about wrestling. I mean, this is so nonsensical and awesome all at the same time, and amazing and terrible and wow. I don't know what the fucking point of Ricky Starks and Big Bill ever was. I guess they were transitional champions. I have no idea. Time will tell. I thought this is the best they've ever looked in a match, at least recently. I know they had a really good one against FTR to win the belts, but I thought they looked phenomenal here. Here, I got the lowest rated review from Cage Match. Let's read this. I'm just glad Sting is having fun in his last month in AEW as a wrestler. This is how Sting has fun. I mean, that's fucking amazing. I love all those spots that Sting did. He really was having fun, but man, what a maniac. Hopefully this stint as transitional tag champs can help get the division back on track. No, it won't. There's no fucking way this is going to help get the division back on track. This is a fucking disaster. I didn't hate the Starks Big Bill run. I mean, I did. I mean, it was only good if it would have kept going. It ending just kind of destroyed the whole thing. I don't know what the point of it was. They also weren't really given much to work with, in my opinion, and they weren't even a real tag team. Correct. Absolutely, they were not given enough to work with. The Boss Man Slam Darby took on the outside was absolutely nasty. Correct. I swear he's trying to retire before Sting between that and the match with Takeshita where he was getting launched everywhere. Yeah, agreed. Darby has always taken nasty bumps. And this match was no exception. I don't usually complain about believability in pro wrestling, but Darby hitting a code red on a man that's literally twice as big as him is kind of ridiculous. I actually thought that spot was awesome. I thought the code red was absolutely fine. I had no problems with that. It's the end. All right, we got to talk about the end. I can't believe we don't mention the fucking end of this match in that review, because the Young Bucks come out and beat the shit out of Sting and Darby after they win the belts. Now, Sting and Darby winning the belts is a problem in itself because Sting's retiring. So what the fuck? The Young Bucks coming out and beating the crap out of them, and with the blood on the white suits, what a hell of a visual. I know that's going to be the thumbnail for this thing. It's iconic now. This is now defining a new era of the Young Bucks. And also, what's going to define this new era of the Young Bucks, are they going to be the guys to send everyone home unhappy at Revolution when they beat Sting and Darby for the belts? That's where this is going, right? I don't know, man. Because if they don't, all right, here's how we book ourselves out of this corner. We are definitely in a corner, though, because you got a problem at Revolution. How do you send fans home happy? Either you don't, or you have to have Sting and Darby retain, and then you got to do something dumb fuck afterwards, like another goddamn tournament. Honestly, that's probably where we're heading. We're probably going to have Sting and Darby win at the pay-per-view, although booking suggests that it should just be the Young Bucks. Sting and Darby, or fucking Sting's on his way out. What happens to Darby? I don't know, man. I feel like Darby's getting the short end of this stick no matter what, which does not seem like something that Sting would want. So that's why I kind of think that we're doing something else. And the answer is probably tag team tournament. Tournament! Whenever Tony Khan books himself into a corner, it's fucking tournament time. Someone gets injured. Fucking tournament time. Booked myself into a corner. Fucking tournament time. So I assume that when Sting and Darby, if they win, Sting has to retire the belts, and we have a fucking tournament. And does Sting enter that with like Nick Wayne as his partner? Who the fuck is Darby's partner? Does Sting not retire now? Does Sting decide, well, fuck, we're tag champs and now I don't retire? Nothing says Sting has to retire other than the booking of the match, the selling the goddamn tickets on the promise that this is Sting's last match and you want to be there. I don't know. I'm all upset about this, and but in a great way, because I really did enjoy it. I got to give this match a 5, guys. This is a 5. It might even be a 6. We'll keep it at a 5 because like the match was so, but my God, this ending is like why I watch Dynamite. This is why Dynamite's my favorite TV show, and that's how I watch it. I watch it like a TV show. I don't watch this like it's real sports because fucking Darby is hitting code reds on 8-foot-tall behemoths. But it's a great TV show. I really like this angle that the Young Bucks are doing. If they do win the belts at Revolution, I hope they have a heel title run to rival any other heel title run that's ever been, because I do believe they are phenomenal. I think this is great. I love the way they are calling the BTE trigger now, the EVP trigger. Just lean right into this. Brilliant plan with the white suits and the blood from Darby. And what a fucking champ Darby is for getting cut open and rubbing his head all over the Young Bucks for an amazing visual. You can't get much more heat than this, guys. I don't know what the Young Bucks are going to do with this heat. I don't know what Sting and Darby are going to do with all the goodwill that they have at this point. I know Sting's going to retire. I guess the guy I worry for most is Darby. I hope that Darby comes out good after this is all said and done and not looking like Big Bill and Ricky Starks, because those guys got fucked. All right, let me know what you think about this episode of Dynamite and this angle in general down in the comments below. Let me know if you like this style of review where I grab the worst reviews off a cage match and kind of give this alternate opinion. A lot of people were saying, you give these matches too high of a rating, so I wanted to make sure I gave both sides because, I don't know why that's important to you guys. I fucking love Dynamite though. My ratings are always going to be high as fuck, so I figure if you guys want low ratings, that's the only way for me to get them. All right, there's a lot of the great videos on this channel, so make sure you check them out. And Grave Diggers, keep digging.
Stop what you're doing, baby, and follow Mr. Hargrave from parts unknown, if you will, baby.
I've seen the demon's face.
Mark joined one half a private party, say what up to the Grave Diggers, and keep doing your thing.
On my knees in praise of the horrible things that took her away.
Watch another video or be cursed.